Good morning. A very warm welcome to all the viewers. I'm Selina Bende and I'm a teacher of English and German. I teach at Shet PT Mahila College, Surat. I'm also the president of LTI Surat. And let me introduce you to today's speaker, Dr. Dharmendra Sheth, who is the National Vice President of English Language Teachers Association of India. He is also the head of the Department of R&D, MOEC Private Limited, Surat. Let me introduce you to today's topic, that is cross-cultural communication, and sir is going to talk on that. So, to my mind, sir, cross-cultural communication is an impossible thing. What do you think?
Good morning, friends. Before we start discussing in detail about cross cultural communication, let me make the title very clear. Here we have three words: cross, cultural, and communication. I would like to spend some time on defining these three terms so that whatever we discuss after this introductory part will be relevant to your real life situation. And I'm sure you will get a lot of tips and your own communication will become better after this session. So let's go to the presentation. We'll see the first slide. You can see on your screen the first slide. There are three important words: cross, it's a prefix, then cultural and communication. Friends, if you look up in any good dictionary, you will find about 20 meanings for the word cross. So here, what meaning is relevant in our topic? We can see in the next slide. The next slide is what is cross? Going across a particular thing. Is it clear now? That means it is not just one person talking to himself, it is a group of people. It may be just two people, three people, or a group of people communicating with each other, and they are trying to convey their ideas, their messages across. Then the next word, very important in our topic, is culture. Now, friends, if you think about this word culture, it's a very complex idea. If you look up in some material, in fact, before I came for this presentation, I studied about 20 books and I tried to understand what the word culture means. And the simplest definition I got was the one on the screen. It is everything that humans have learned. Now, this definition is very easy to understand, but at the same time, it is too much. You cannot really put it into use. So I struggled and I tried to find some better useful definition of culture, and then I came across the slide from Don Snow. Now, Don Snow has very nicely given the definition of culture, and particularly for today's topic, it's very important to understand what culture means. Now, you can see on the slide three terms: SK, that is shared knowledge. Second is SV, that stands for shared values. And the third is SP, that stands for shared patterns of behavior. Now we'll try to discuss each one in detail. You can go to the next slide. The first is shared knowledge. Now, friends, I want you to spend about half a minute on the words and phrases that you have in front of SK. Selina, I would also like you to try what these words and phrases mean to you. Just think about them.
The first one is a date,
Yeah.
and the second one is
You can make a guess.
it's just a thing,
Yeah.
and the third one is a name.
Can we see the slide, please? Can we see the slide, please? Yeah. The first, as you said, it's a date.
Date.
Yeah.
Yeah. The second one is a thing.
Hmm.
The third is a name. Third and fourth are names of people. And the fourth one is the name of a place.
Fifth one.
Fifth one, yeah.
Okay, friends, have you tried on your own? Okay, now I'll try to explain what it is. Any word or any phrase, it gets its meaning on the basis of what culture you are from. For example, these 5 words are shown to an American, whether highly educated or an ordinarily educated person. If that person looks at that particular set of words and phrases, then he will immediately understand that the first date is actually it represents Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor.
Okay.
Then when you look at the second, home plate, it is a place where a batter stands in baseball.
Okay.
Then the third, Benedict Arnold, he was a traitor during American Revolutionary War.
Okay.
Then Bill Cosby, fourth, is actually a comedian.
Okay.
And the fifth is a scenic place
Right.
where honeymooners generally go.
Okay.
So an American will find these words and phrases easier to understand because they have this as a part of their shared knowledge. But for an Indian, for example, we find it difficult to understand. And the same is the case with many others who are not familiar, or those who are not born and brought up in American culture.
True.
So when I talk about culture, the very important segment is shared knowledge. Then the second item is shared values. That means if you belong to a particular culture, then you share some of the ideas, beliefs, concepts in that particular culture. In the slide, we can see some examples of shared values. For example, are there supernatural forces? Are humans essentially good or evil? Does punctuality pay? So such beliefs and concepts and ideas, thoughts, they are a part of culture. So when you are born and brought up in that particular culture, then you automatically inherit those ideas. Then the third item we can see in the slide is SP, shared behavioral patterns. For example, how you celebrate festivals, how you eat, your eating habits also are culturally
Yes.
influenced by culture. Then placing an order in a restaurant, such things are basically part of culture. So now we can see in detail, next slide, what is culture. It is shared knowledge, then shared views and shared patterns. Now keeping these things in mind, we are going to discuss cross-cultural communication.
So let me interrupt. So the first one, shared knowledge, if had it been October 2nd or something, then I would have identified that
Definitely,
one.
definitely.
Or Mahatma Gandhi or some names which are known to me, then
That's
I
very
would have
true.
identified that one.
Very true.
Right.
Right. Next slide, please. Now, we discussed what things we need to study under the umbrella term culture. And we discussed that it is shared knowledge, shared values, and shared patterns of behavior. Now, these things are not just based on geographical units. For example, we say Western culture and Indian culture, but that's not the only way to understand culture. We have many other ways. For example, on your screen, you can see geographical units. Means, for example, here in Ahmedabad, they have their own culture. In Surat, we have our own culture. So, geographical units also decide culture. Then we have professional communities. For example, we are teachers, so we have our own culture.
Yeah.
Then, according to religion, there are some cultural differences.
Right.
Then, social communities, then economic status, like middle class culture. Then, many big organizations. For example, I work with Larsen Tobro, and before that, I work with Gujarat Narmada Valley Fertilizer Company. Now, very easily, I was able to see the differences in both the cultures. So, culture is not just one thing, it is a mixture of so many things. And I'm sure by the end of this presentation, you will have clearer questions, if not answers, about culture. Next slide, please. What is communication is probably the easiest thing out of these 3 words in our topic. Sharing information with others by speaking, writing, moving your body, or using other signals. So this is our topic actually, cross-cultural communication. We have defined all the 3 important words.
Okay.
Now you might have a question, why is it important for us to study cross-cultural communication?
Yeah, why is it?
Right? I'm sure many students and many other people who are viewers, they might be thinking, why should we bother about cross-cultural communication? We are not going to interact with foreigners all the time
Yeah.
like that. Now let's see why it is important. Now, number one is we are all citizens of the global village, and I'm sure those who are observing life in the true sense of the term, then they will realize that their interactions with others have increased in a way.
True.
You are communicating with more people than you used to earlier, and you are communicating with people from different cultures, different nations, and that's why, as a true citizen of the global village, you should be familiar with different cultures so that you sometimes don't offend anyone,
Right.
even by mistake. Then, second, we have a lot of multinational companies coming in India, and when you want to work in a company, in a multinational company, then it is expected that you are familiar with different cultures.
True.
Then traveling, as you know, traveling
Traveling
has
abroad.
increased drastically.
Yeah.
Earlier, for example, it was difficult to find a person who has been abroad, but now almost from every
It's
family,
difficult to find the other way
yeah,
around.
it's difficult to find a person.
And traveling
or
has become easy. That's why
it has
yeah,
become very easy.
very easy.
Even starting from booking tickets to
Yeah. Yes,
booking
everything
hotels and
can be
everything,
done.
it's
Yeah.
so easy.
Yes.
So traveling on the whole has increased. Then the next is virtual world, the internet,
The
for
internet.
example. It is now in your hand.
At the
You
tip
can
of
see
your
at the
hand.
tip
Yes.
of your
Fingers.
fingers. You can use the internet.
Yes.
So the whole world has really become a global village. Then the next is Indian context. Now here I would like to spend a minute. Indians by default are actually multicultural.
Yes.
What I mean to say is that in India, when you travel probably say 20-25 kilometers, you will find a slightly different culture.
Yeah.
And if you travel probably 70-80 kilometers, you will definitely be able to see obvious differences in culture. Language will change. If not language, then at least dialect will
Dialect will
change. And
change.
because of that sense of dressing and sense of humor and everything
Yes,
will
everything.
change. So India is a country of, I would say, it's a culture of cultures.
Multicultural.
Right. So by default, we are trained.
Yes.
Just being an Indian, you are trained to expect differences in cultures. Now that is not the case for many foreigners. For example, an American who was born and brought up in America and who has not been abroad,
He
that
doesn't-
person will probably a product of monocultural identity. So when he comes to a country like India, then for us probably it will be a bit easy to deal with that person, but he will find it difficult. And to make his task easy, and so that we can have a better communication event, I think we should be familiar with what he expects and what our expectations are.
Right.
So in Indian context, we are lucky in a way.
Right. India
Uh,
being a multicultural, we
yeah.
have so many different religions and cultures
Yeah.
which we have always been.
Yeah,
practicing.
multilingual,
Mul-
and because of that, multicultural,
Right.
and lots of religions.
Lots of, yeah, we have different.
So we are in a way lucky.
lucky.
Yeah. But at the same time, because of this diversity, Serena, what happens? We expect differences and we expect others to understand the differences, but
Yes.
actually that is not the case.
Right.
For many Westerners, for example, they will expect monocultural identity. So what
Right.
they do at one place in India, they expect to do the same thing
Same.
in some other part.
Yes.
And that's not the case actually.
Right. But we have grown up considering, I mean, we will respect other people's
Definitely.
cultures and they will respect ours. I mean, it's a mutual understanding
true.
which we have grown up with,
Which we have grown
basically.
with, yeah.
Right.
That's correct. And the last item is cultures differ. Now, it's very important to see in what ways culture differ, because if you understand how cultures differ, then probably you will be prepared for intercultural or cross-cultural communication. So, I would like you to, I would like all the students and all the viewers to spend half a minute and think how cultures differ. Selena, do you have any idea about how cultures differ?
Cultures would differ basically in dressing
Yeah,
and in food habits,
right.
and as we talk language
Hmm.
or the dialect,
Yeah.
if we are talking about India alone, then. And
Yeah.
What else? Basically.
Yeah, these are the main things, right?
Yes, yes.
Now, you in the examples that you given, probably most of the items were like obvious things, something
Yes.
which is clearly seen.
Right.
But on the other hand, there are many items which we actually cannot see. In
Right.
culture, there are many. For example,
Right.
shared values and beliefs that we discussed earlier. Now we cannot see,
Yes.
but still they are there.
Yes.
So we need to keep into account all such things also. So let me give you some examples. In the next slide, we can see cultures differ. In the next slide, we can see very clearly. Can we see the next slide, please? Cultures differ, and as I have mentioned, some of the things are obvious and some of the things are subtle.
Subtle.
Like, for example, greetings.
Greetings.
The Japanese bow and the English curtsy, and the Australians and Americans nod or shake hands or say hi or just wink, you know.
Right.
Then Europeans, they hug or brush
Right.
cheeks or give
Yes.
light kisses.
Yes.
Fijians, for example, recently in our private limited company, MOEC private limited company, we have hired a Fijian.
Okay.
Now, I get a lot of information about Fijian culture, and he says that people there are very lively.
Okay.
So when they meet somebody who is known to them, they just rush to that person, they hug, and almost they crush.
Right.
You know, that kind of greeting they have.
Okay.
So cultures differ in many ways, and one of the
Yes.
commonest, the most obvious, is greeting.
Right.
And in the next, yeah,
At times it is difficult, no? I mean, if some, I mean, as we in our Indian culture, we are not used to touching anyone.
right, right.
Yeah, even our own family members we wouldn't touch.
Yes.
I mean, so it becomes a little bit difficult when someone would come and hug you